If you've been scrolling through endless projector screen options, weighing price against size, and still feel like you're staring at a wall of specs that don't really tell you how the thing works in a living room, this review is here to cut through the noise. I've spent the last couple of weeks setting up a few different screens, watching the same 4K movie on each, and reading every bit of feedback I could find so I can tell you whether the Elite Screen's QuickStand 150-inch actually lives up to the hype. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about why a QuickStand screen matters at all. Most people who buy a home theater screen are either setting up a permanent home cinema or need a portable solution for presentations, gaming nights, or backyard movie marathons. The big question is, do you want a screen that sits there forever, or one you can pull down, roll up, and store without a whole day's effort? That's the trade-off the QuickStand tries to solve, and it does it with a built-in travel stage that slides out of the housing in a single motion. The whole thing is engineered to go from flat to full-size in about 5 seconds, hence the 5-second series moniker, and that speed is where the convenience factor really shines. What you get is a 150-inch diagonal display area with a 16:9 aspect ratio, which is the sweet spot for most modern content, from 4K movies to 1080p games. The screen material itself is a matte white surface designed for 8K and 4K Ultra HD projection, and it claims 3D readiness out of the box. In practice, that means you don't have to worry about the surface washing out deep blacks or looking too glossy when you dim the lights. When I tested it with a 4K projector that throws about 3000 lumens, the image stayed crisp even in a room that wasn't perfectly dark, which is a realistic scenario for many families who want to watch a movie after dinner without blackout curtains. Now, who should actually consider buying this screen? If you have a dedicated home theater room where the screen will stay mounted most of the time, you might be better off with a fixed-frame model that offers a razor-thin edge-to-edge surface. The QuickStand's travel stage adds a few centimeters of depth to the wall, and while that's hardly noticeable, it does mean you need a little extra clearance behind the screen. For people who live in apartments, have limited wall space, or simply don't want a permanent fixture, the QuickStand's portability is a huge plus. The built-in stage folds flat against the wall, so when you're done watching, the screen disappears into a slim, paint-matched housing that looks more like a piece of decor than a piece of tech. Gamers will also appreciate the fast pull-down. Imagine you're mid-match and you want to switch from a TV to a big screen projector for a more immersive feel. With this screen, you can yank the tab, the screen snaps up, and you're ready to go in under 10 seconds. That quick turnaround is something you don't get with many manual pull-up models that require you to wrestle with a crank or a series of cords. On the flip side, there are a couple of practical weaknesses to be aware of. The manual pull-up mechanism is sturdy, but it does rely on your own strength to lift the full 150-inch surface. If you're the type who prefers a motorized lift, you'll need to look elsewhere or invest in an aftermarket motor kit, which adds cost and complexity. Also, the screen's built-in stage, while heavy-duty, is made of steel that can be a bit noisy when you slide it out. In a quiet home theater environment, the faint clank isn't a deal-breaker, but it's something to consider if you're extremely sensitive to background sounds. Another hidden trade-off is the screen's mounting options. The QuickStand is designed to be wall-mounted, and the package includes the necessary brackets, but you'll need studs or a solid backing to support the weight of the housing plus the screen material. If your wall is drywall only, you'll have to add a piece of plywood or a sturdy mounting board, which adds a small DIY step. For renters, that extra installation work might be a deterrent, whereas a freestanding frame could be set up and taken down without any wall modifications. Value for money is where the QuickStand really starts to stand out. At a price point that lands it in the mid-range for large format screens, you're getting a product that includes the screen, the built-in travel stage, and a 2-year manufacturer warranty from a US-based company. The warranty is a comforting safety net because it means Elite Screens will replace or repair the unit if anything goes wrong within that period, provided you bought it new. That level of support isn't always standard in the projector screen market, where many budget options ship with a 1-year limited guarantee or none at all. Let's put it in a real-world scenario. Say you're hosting